Welcome to Ragnarok and Roll, a podcast where legends are forged and the gods shape the fates of mortals. Join us as we set sail into Midgard, a Viking Age setting for the Genesys RPG, where the frozen fjords meet fiery destinies, and prepare for epic battles in Francia, the cunning schemes of warlords, and the ancient mysteries, as our raiders carve their saga into the annals of history. Shields up, warriors, blades at the ready. Let the saga begin.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and rpgpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
So if y'all spent your experience?
I literally logged on 5 minutes early to do that.
Or...
You know, right as I got the call, he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, you want to play a game?" It's like, I'm already playing a game. Sorry.
We talked about it yesterday. Come on.
I know.
Yeah. That's no different from Evan completely forgetting that, you know, James and I have a D&D game every other Monday too.
Yeah.
Well, that is also, if and when it is the true Evan.
Wow, yeah.
I'm thinking it might actually be Evan now on there.
I think this latest time it is.
Because he was asking about games, and he was asking about Twilight Imperium game, and what the group were up to. So either the chat bot got a hold of his old chats finally, or it's actually him back.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
It was fun fucking with it once. Yeah, you remember when Anshin accidentally killed that person that ticket agent?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
You were standing right there. You egged me on, Evan. You told me to do it.
You said you dispose of the weapon, right?
You got rid of it, right?
It's like, wait, what? And then like 5 minutes later, oh yeah, that. It's like, whatever.
Yep.
Go away.
I say that sounds like a cranky cat.
Yeah. The one that kind of he croaks more than he meows.
Is it just me, or am I not seeing Kevin character
Kevin
in
Roll
the
20.
No, in the under the list of characters, he's not. At
I'm
least
telling
not
you,
seeing.
there's something wrong with your Roll 20, man. You shouldn't have played around with those beta features.
No, I'm not seeing his either.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
it's not like it takes much to, reboot it.
I mean, I'm thinking y'all are just possessed.
Can you access it, Kevin?
Well, no, I mean,
Because I don't see anything for you to click there. I see 4 characters in a boat. Oh,
There it
now
is.
it's there.
why would he see? I'm not even looking at a boat. I don't even know what you're talking about.
He
The
means on the
Garvey
character
Longship. Yeah, your character sheet wasn't there.
No.
I'm totally going to blame Roll20 Beta and not the fact that his character sheet was made for him only to see and not all players. So it was totally a haunted, ghostly experience.
What the hell is Jump Gate?
That's the new
It's-
character mancer thing they're using. I take it
It's
you just
their-
got an
well-
invite to try it.
Yeah.
Good. Well, it's not. It's a whole beta new Roll20 system that
Yep.
it'll eventually be going to. So supposedly much faster, smoother, more features, more robust. Supposedly.
Supposedly made for like all of the off-brand character sheets, because you know how, like, let's be honest, Roll20 was made for D&D character sheets. That was like the first and primary thing. But they're trying to make the new Jump Gate so it uses other character sheets without having to use proprietary ones. Though I do love with
That's smart.
the latest D&D scandal, Roll20's like, hey, you guys can opt to use the 2014 5th edition or the 2024 5th edition.
Okay, what scandal? I haven't been paying attention.
Oh my god. So a while back, D&D Beyond, because of course like 80% of people who game online use D&D Beyond for different shit,
Because you have to, basically. But
basically forced everyone to the 2024 version on their character sheets without saying anything. You just logged in, and your
Oh,
character
Jesus.
sheet was pulling the spells from 2024, even if you didn't buy the books.
Mm.
And of
Yeah.
course, people freaked out because they're like, hey guys, we don't own the books because, you know, only one of the books is even out to look at because they're
Yeah.
spreading the books out over the next 6 months. Which means technically the 2024 edition's not going to be out until 2025. And then they're like, oh, sorry, we can't roll back. And then apparently after, again, another mass thread of people canceling their subscriptions, all of a sudden they give you the option to go back to the 2014 ones. But the option is you have to opt for the optional spell version and then have to put everything in manually.
Jesus.
Yeah. Because even though, say, you bought those PDF books on D&D Beyond, they don't quite have a feature that lets you opt between one version or the other. Like many people are giving them
Look.
shit. Like a checkbox to stay 2014 unless you check the checkbox for 2024. Because we've now discovered the supposed reverse capabilities of the second 5th edition is not
so reverse.
so reverse compatible.
It's supposed to be you can play whatever elements and just like before, or the new stuff, or whatever.
Yeah,
So you're supposed
They
to be able
said
to
so.
do that, and you definitely cannot.
because a lot of the
First time.
spells, some of
You
the healing
can,
spells
however-
are lower level, but heal more up front. So like, you know, it's casting at a higher level is less hit points, but the upfront cast is more hit points.
Yeah.
Or
Well, I think they're more talking the social aspects of all the tweaking.
Yeah.
Also, with a level 1 spell, you can now create a thermonuclear weapon.
Nice.
Rules as written.
yeah, they've broken a lot of stuff. Drinking potions is a bonus action, which I still am like, I can't accept that. You're telling me whipping out a
'Cause you gotta-
potion and then
You gotta
popping the
find
cork
it, you gotta
and drinking.
open it, you gotta, yeah.
Exactly. It's like
Yeah, you
drawing
just
a
gotta
weapon
thumb it
and
open.
then, but you still gotta. You're telling me you have the potions exposed to combat? Is that what we're saying? You know,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
they're holstered.
In a
There is
padded,
totally-
chanted belt.
there is totally
No,
the
apparently they're
potion
all in
holster
your,
in
they're all in your
3.5.
left hand.
They did make back in 3.5 and 3 ways to do that. Like your shield had potion liners on the inside, or you could have a bandolier of quick potion drinking, which thereby gave you the, as a bonus action, you could drink a potion because
Hey.
it's right there.
It's
Okay.
still better than first edition.
Oh, first editions is way better.
First
Oh, yeah.
edition is what it was meant to be.
I'm
Then
gonna cast
everything
fireball,
else.
and it's gonna take 3 turns. And if somebody so much as look at me, it screws up my spell.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you get for having 4 hit points.
Yeah.
At level
Right.
6.
But think about it.
mean,
You know, back
you're
in nobody
And
complains
squishy
about
no
rogue.
spells
cantrips,
having channeling
no
time.
cantrips. At first, like you don't get a second spell to like 3rd level. You know?
This is back when your cleric and wizard was carrying a crossbow around because you had to.
Yep.
No, clerics could not use anything but blunt weapons in the 1st edition.
Because the gods are kind of fuzzy on breaking
They
legs.
could not draw blood.
Yeah.
Clerics and paladins could not draw blood.
Paladins could. It was only cleric.
Well, maybe
Paladins. But paladins were religious, not just, I got an oath. Like, no,
Yeah,
it's not how that
I'm
works.
still
I
in
actually-
Paladins couldn't use ranged weapons is what it was.
Yeah.
That was Cavalier.
The paladins too.
I don't think they had that restriction. I know because
I know
there
the
was a
Cavalier
Cavalier that came out that
The Cavalier
was a
could.
mounted warrior that could not use range unless you rolled a Elven Cavalier, which I had done at one point.
Which is then a ridiculous Mongolian warrior.
But, one is a little clunky, 2 is actually the best game.
Oh, there were paladins in 1st edition. Damn.
Yeah, there were.
They were
Now-
they were a subclass, not a class, but
They were, fighter-like subclass, but then there was the box set that you played elf, dwarf,
Oh,
cleric,
standard
and something
D&D.
else.
Yeah.
Those were the classes, elf and dwarf.
Well, elf was basically a ranger. Dwarf,
Yeah. Elf was
Yeah.
half elf, half ranger. Dwarf was half warrior, half dwarf,
Yeah.
Now, second edition refined, but it still was much better than now that all this, everybody can heal. You could have a bunch of
Yeah.
fighters and just go around, heal and refresh, and it
Hell, it wasn't until 3rd edition that I think dwarves could even use magic.
Yeah, because they were adamantly against it. It was part of their background.
they had a high resistance to magic effects.
Yeah, so they couldn't use it because of that.
And barbarians
So that means
actually disliked and feared magic.
Yep.
Not now where it's not a big deal at
yeah,
all.
but here was also the barbarian and also a class at like level 8 can summon a horde of barbarians.
They
Yeah.
blow a horn.
10,
Their
maybe level
cousins
10, yeah.
come over the hill.
Yeah, it's like
The
Is
earlier
that a-
games were
is
about
that a
having
metric horde or an imperial horde?
Yeah.
it took time, but it's just like
no, but the earlier edition was all about having minions. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Hirelings was a
Henchmen.
huge thing back then.
Yep.
Peasant,
but no.
the peasant railgun.
Yeah.
I mean, magic
Yeah.
users were useful if they lived to 5th level.
Yeah.
well, then they
It's
were
just like now.
OP almost.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no.
then they get to God mode. It's like,
Yeah.
congratulations, the next 15 levels,
But
you
the
got
chance of a magic user making it that far.
If you had a good party,
I mean,
Yeah,
if you can
because
you
keep
had to
Timmy
work
the
together
Stone
and
Thrower
work with
away
each
from him.
other's skills.
Yeah, because cantrips weren't a thing.
Nope.
They couldn't use bows, so it's like, oh yeah, I got a dagger and a sling. It's like
And staff.
or
If
a
anyone
staff,
asks, I'm the horse tender.
And I had a dick of a
But
DM
it
that
made it fun and made it
straight for
challenging.
the magic users. It didn't matter what monsters we were. They would go. I mean, they would literally blow through the front line just to get to the magic user. It's like,
See,
I'm
that
sorry,
only-
but
That only
more
works.
Hulks are not that smart.
Yeah, that only works if you're playing an intelligent character intelligently.
Yeah.
Like I had one guy was complaining about their GM. It's like, yeah, the Lich went after my wizard first, and I'm like, dude, he's an ex-wizard.
Lich would
He
do
knows what you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He's a
knows
Lich. He's
exactly
smart. He
what
knows
you
magic.
can do, and he's just like, I'm going to shut that shit down right now.
So, no, but this
But
is
it
also
made
the
it
same
fun.
guy.
It made it challenging. It made
Oh
it
yeah, it was definitely
difficult.
challenging.
Not a video game.
Yep.
You just kind of walk through, hack and slash, and heal. And though the
And
new
some of the magic
new
weapons
spell,
were pretty-
they did screw the cleric, I guess. So because the magical weapon is now, or holy weapon or whatever is now a concentration because they need another concentration spell on top of the 2/3 of their spells that are concentration.
Yeah, I love. I mean, I got the player's handbook. I got the alternative cover. I haven't opened it yet.
I mean, I did hear they got rid of a lot of concentration spells for every.
Yeah, they did.
All the other characters.
And then the one
they made
class
that one
kind of used magic, made everything concentration. It's like, yeah, let's nerf rangers even more.
Oh, because they were so good before.
Hey,
yeah,
I feel like it's screwed.
First, second, and third edition, they were pretty good.
Hey, I used to love my third
not
edition
now.
Rangers.
Yeah,
Like 5th edition Ranger has always been incredibly garbage.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? When I got excited
you
for
can actually make a decent Ranger, but you have to get. I mean,
you have to build your Ranger specifically for the campaign that you're playing in.
Yeah.
And God help you if things take a turn.
Yeah, because I mean, you either have to, specialize in the bow and nothing else, ignore everything else except for or specialize in two-handed fighting or in nothing else. Otherwise, yeah, I mean it's
And
every ranger I saw was always it was always bow. Nobody went two weapon. In 5e, I never saw that.
Yeah,
I did, but
but no, 3.5 was actually the sweet spot, I thought.
Yeah, well, I mean that's why Pathfinders. But then even with Pathfinder, it's like, oh my god, how many?
Pathfinder's a little extra crunchy from what?
How many subclasses or archetypes or whatever the hell you want to call them are there? Oh my fucking god!
Well, that doesn't bother me. It's the development is rough because there are just so many talents and abilities, and it's like, okay, which one? Okay, I got that, which I can do, and then
that one does that.
Isn't
any better?
Genesis is really just 3.5. I mean, with different
tactics. The Genesis is so much.
At least the choices in Genesis aren't. Yeah, but at least the choices in Genesis aren't like individually so character defining where it's like, oh god, if I make one bad choice, I'm fucked.
The character's completely useless.
Yeah, you have to make your character's path 18 levels in advance or you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
where you have so many
isn't bad,
it's like, oh my god.
I mean, I like Pathfinder better than the 5e, but it's definitely a little crunchy to keep up on all the different new skills and talents that you pick up.
Yeah. It's fine with me. I like crunchy systems, but
I was going to say, it's got a 500-page rule book that is not the GM's guide, but a rule book.
Mm-hmm.
That can lead to a lot of conversations at the table instead of just saying, okay, we're going to do this for now and talk about it later.
Yeah, but there's a handful of pages that cover most of what you're doing throughout the game, so it's not too hard.
Oh, Jim, I should probably send you the backer kit package for the MCDM RPG because I did get that. It contains everything for building a character and at level 1 and some running the game stuff.
Yeah, I have yet to get involved with any of his yet because I'm still waiting for them to pick a title.
It's Draw Steel.
Okay, so they're going with that?
They decided that a while ago.
Okay.
Well, until it's on the cover, it's not real. I just worry that his is gonna, because they're on what, their third or fourth full edit.
What do you mean?
They've been doing getting feedback on each version they shoot out.
This is only this. So they just put out the second version. The first version they put out at the end of February.
Oh, okay.
And so it was end of August that they put out the second one, and they've been getting the feedback. And they're working on everything. They're targeting probably March of next year for the release.
Printers' blessings, given.
Which is pretty fast considering they didn't start until the beginning of January this year. That's a 14 months beginning to end development cycle for a full TTRPG.
And it's going to be a massive book, too.
Yep. Let's see if I can go through and find the thing. Maybe it's in my email. It's probably in my email.
I still laugh when they're talking about the Hasbro complaining about D&D not making enough money. My first complaint to somebody that was bitching about that
Isn't
is
it literally their most profitable thing?
Yeah. And on top of it, guys, what have you made? You haven't given them the green light to make anything because they could have gone the way of second and third edition where you're making fluff books for each of the archetypes. Even fourth edition came out with the martial handbook, the primal handbook, the arcane, and the divine.
Well, they turned it over to independents for a bunch of stuff, and then they realized they weren't making money because, once you buy the base books, you're pretty much done other than a new figure here and there.
Yeah, and that's the problem. They should have been making the books. Seeing as they're being greedy enough to fire the printers they used to use and are printing in-house, welcome to finding that logistic nightmare out.
Yeah. I mean, even the game store has a problem with like D&D players and stuff because they come and play, but nobody spends money and doesn't buy anything because you bought the books and, now you don't need anything. And then they complain, then he started charging for, a room, quote unquote, but, it was basically buying stuff. But there were people coming, groups coming and just playing and not buying or doing anything.
Yeah, like the joke is, it's when our groups usually go there, you're pretty much guaranteed people are spending money because it's adults who are here to have fun. And with the bar, it's easy to spend money now.
Well, the bar makes it a little better than what it was before, but yeah, before there was a lot of people groups that were playing and not contributing at all. Where if you're tabletop wargaming, well, there's always a new army to buy and new stuff. So there's all the card games. There's the crack of buying new foil packs. So those were the
power
groups. Those were the game groups that supported the game store, not the role-playing groups. So
Yeah, so the core rulebook for this game, the backer kit version of it right now, that's just kind of the packet, 125 pages.
Damn, and that's basically just a starter set.
Yeah, and then we got the bestiary, which is 31 pages, but it looks like it has everything about encounter building, some stat blocks, how to build stat blocks and stuff like that, how to balance encounters.
Balance encounters? What is that?
Yeah, instead of just relying on, fucking challenge rating.
The brokenest system ever.
Fuck, it's so bad.
No, nothing is as broken as Fatal was.
Okay.
A game nobody's ever played.
I was gonna say that if it's the one I'm thinking you're talking about, you got a point.
Yes, your character sheet even has your sphincter diameter.
Hey, it's important.
Yeah. The funniest part about the whole game is just this one guy's 120-page review of it. It is absolutely hilarious.
Oh,
God. He's talking about, you got a magic system where you're more likely to have a dick growing out of your forehead than actually cast a damn fireball.
Well, between the two, which biologically speaking is more likely to happen?
Yeah, but you have a 10% chance of actually casting your spell.
Sounds like Dungeon Crawl Classics.
The backer kit also came with 2 different adventures that are linked to each other.
Every so often you have to roll to see if you have to urinate. Yeah.
The answer is always yes.
He tried to make the most realistic game ever. And apparently less than a dozen books ever sold.
Oh, damn.
It's I don't know if that part is true, but it was literally most people know it through this guy's review.
I mean, if it's anything like Tuscan, a lot of the authors I've talked to, it's pretty bad if you use Vanity Press and you have to literally go sell your own books. Speaking of selling your own books, apparently, like, most of the big bookstores, since D&D is printing it itself, not using the actual publishers, they're not seeing a lot of copies in actual stores right now.
Well, so they go out to, like, game stores.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I got mine from Isle of Games.
Yeah, they go out, like, a month in advance.
Those should always be your priorities, because those are the pre-sales and shit.
Yeah, it's like everyone else has to wait the month and then are limited by how much influence they can swing, and Amazon will always swing the most influence.
Yeah.
Well, Barnes & Nobles has it, but...
Yeah, Jim, so I just sent you all of the relevant PDFs in the chat for this.
Okay, cool. I know what I'm downloading after.
Yep, so for some reason, you read through this stuff and you're like, oh man, I kind of want to run people through this. It also came with character sheets, art, maps, and tokens.
Damn.
That are perfect for Roll20. So... I can give you all those things in a zip file.
What I'm hearing you say is you want me to run this for you.
I mean, I wouldn't say no. I certainly want to play it. Hard enough to get people to join in, though.
True. So I have to admit, it was nice recently gaming at the store with a random pickup group.
There you go. Did you do that for your one-shots?
Yep.
Nice.
I know Emma reached out to me and she was like, so what other games was David talking about? And I'm like, here's a list. Here's a list. It's open. Would you like to join? Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more?
Jesus.
Yep.
All right, well, how about we get this show on the road, yeah?
Yeah.
That's right. Give me a bunch of books to look at and then say focus.
Yeah, here's a bunch of books. Now let's play a different game that's not in these books.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's all the beeping going on?
That was one too many, Kevin.
All those story points.
Yeah, I hit the wrong one. I was trying... Yeah, anyway.
Trying to balance the story points the hard way.
No,
We actually need one fewer story point in the first place.
Yeah, it's...
Something like that.
Bam.
No! No, not something like that.
No, make it the opposite.
It's the other way. So.
I was, hoping you wouldn't see that part.
Oh, yeah.
Kroll.
You have to remember the glaive. I mean, the glaive is a bitchin' weapon, though.
But only get 3. Kind of a hard pick.
Yeah.
Quite a few good ones there.
I was going to say, are you looking at the book?
No.
No,
I posted something else that while we were chatting, I was scrolling through and came across, and it's like,
Okie dokie.
It would be hard to pick 3.
I mean, especially if they get their abilities.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if they get their abilities, it's Highlander all the way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can forget about Conan, but...
But Conan's an awesome movie.
Oh, yeah, it's an awesome movie, but the magic in that world is...
Yeah, it's like if they're fighting.
Yeah.
No, it's the movie. Save 3, the rest are 8.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, then it would be Conan,
Lord.
Highlander, and Kroll.
Yeah.
I
I mean, Beastmaster's okay, but...
Legend was good.
If we get rid of Highlander, does that make Highlander 2 disappear?
Ooh,
probably.
It's a good question.
or 3? No, not 3 was...
I mean,
Sword
Sword Sonya was good. Legend's
Sword and the
good.
Sorcerer is a favorite of mine.
That's
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible, but yes.
It's awful, but I love it.
Yeah, if it would have
It's
had
like the
an
A4
actual
movies.
budget, it would be great.
It's like the Ator or Deathstalker movies. Dumb as hell.
Deathstalker.
At least they didn't have Hawk the Slayer on there to get rid of.
Uh-huh.
That's my favorite B-rate fantasy.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't
Alright.
say Sword and the Sorcerer is B-rate. I'd put it at like D, maybe a low F.
The sword alone makes it
Nah.
stupid.
Alright, so there we were.
So there you were.
Cresting the hill, going towards the monastery.
As you see that your colleagues are victorious at the monastery and they're cheering and going on, and you guys realize, well, shit, we have to go back to the town and start gathering up the loot.
Well, we still have 2 buildings we haven't checked out.
Yeah.
Yep. 3 buildings.
Oh, 3,
Really,
yeah.
If we go
We
into the
just
fact that
started-
we
we
didn't
just-
really do much in...
Yeah, this one. The one upper right.
Yeah.
The important thing is you went back and saw that your allies at the monastery up on the hill are doing great.
Well, the bigger group went that way.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Wow, they just had some priest people, so, I mean, squishy targets. I mean, come on, can't be that hard.
Yeah, 4 of us went here, and like 20-something went to the monastery.
And it took them as long to deal with the monks as it took us to deal with the town.
Actually, 5 of us went here.
Oh, yes, I forget about
Leap.
Bjork's, yeah. Mini Bjork.
As of course, you know, your colleague is going to go back and watch the hostages for you while you guys commit cleanup.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Have good. As Fiskbane says, I will watch the prisoners, besides the ones he already let go. Flops
Which-
down the chests and totally sits on them to guard them.
Sounds about right.
Yes. Apparently, we're in Eric the Vikings, you know.
Oh, the burnt knowledge that was here.
Yeah, but we got the map.
Says the guy who stood on top of the burning torch forever and let it burn.
God.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Huh?
You can't prove a thing.
I'm pretty sure Jim records these sessions.
Yeah.
Yes. But your characters can't prove a thing.
Because they were inside the burning building at that time.
Yes, we know it started burning right where you were standing, and then jumped down, fell through, or jumped down through the hole.
Hey, you guys made no attempt to put it out either, so.
We were in a rush.
Uh-huh.
We're aware you were just standing up there.
Uh-huh.
It's like, why is it getting so warm and smoky up here?
At first we thought you were just taking a piss up there, but like we assumed that you'd probably piss on the torch. Obviously not.
I filled the roll. I didn't have to piss.
Or he just pissed in his tunic down his leg.
Forgot to unzip.
All the urine is in his
Unbutton.
boots.
Unbutton.
Hey, have you ever been able to get through buttons in a fucking hurry? Just
Oh
saying.
my god.
Yes, I have, because I used to wear button-fly pants.
See, I've done the same thing, and there's nothing worse than that. You got 30 seconds. Go.
Ah,
Yes, because
Or worse, Ren Fair.
ACUs were so easy to get in and out of.
Oh, well, see, those were meant to be urinated in.
Yeah, it's built in. It's built
Alright.
into the self-cooling feature.
Yeah,
Right.
that
Okay,
material is horrible.
so you
What, you don't
guys.
want wet pee-covered ACU material rubbing up against your leg, just chafing in?
Just sweating did that to you. That's why I can't wear long sleeve shirts. I can't have anything on my forearms anymore because that material just drove me batshit crazy. But anyway,
Okay.
so are we gonna go to which?
I mean, I see you guys shifting at the house next to the burning big long building.
Yeah, we were over here.
The bar, yeah.
Yeah.
You got the guy's head. The guy's dead body.
Yeah, we never
sticking out
did
of
make
here.
it in the bar.
Somebody slammed and closed the shutters on this one while you guys were doing other stuff.
There's a dead guy pinned to the wall there. How did they do that?
Well,
Well,
his
he's
head.
pinned inside. Yeah, unpin him.
They just pulled the body shutters and all with a horrible squeaky noise and closed them and locked them, going, "They're coming! The barbarians are coming!"
But the guy's head's still stuck to it.
So you guys are heading back to that building first?
Well, we were already over here.
Yeah, that's well. I mean,
Doesn't
this
Leaf
bar
kind
has
of
got
back the door in?
it's got booze in it. Wow, that's big, dude.
Even though we found lots of booze over.
So much booze.
Yeah.
So much food.
Yeah. Well, there's got to be something in here too. I mean, it's a bar, so.
Yeah.
So
Or
is,
the end, I guess. It's
who's
got
gonna
bed.
try the door?
I thought Leaf was.
I'm not gonna try the door. I'm gonna do the door.
Okay, you try the door, and obviously it is locked from the inside.
I said I'd do the door.
Wow. And how did you even know I had athletics the average roll in there?
I just kind of assumed based on when I rolled the
Okay.
axe earlier.
As you touch the knob and you realize the door is secure, you then what does it look like when you He-Man that fucking door?
Jeez.
I literally just put my shoulder into it, and whatever piece of wood they had was a piece of sapwood that's just dried out and frayed, and so it's just this comical thing where they see the door bulge in, and then just the piece of wood that's slotted there gives out and just shreds.
And then I'm totally
And I just open the door normally.
totally gonna
like
say,
it's not even there.
since I had an upgrade and a blue in that dice pool, can I get a story point out of you for it?
Sure.
There you go. I brought balance to the force. As the door splinters in, shattering, it does, like if you ever saw in the old TV show Angel when he kicks the door and the door frame just ruptures.
Mhm.
Ridiculously overkill. The doorway bolts in, and immediately as you are standing there, you see two gentlemen with some short spears amongst them and a couple shields that are air quote protecting the door, and a canine between them with its leash hanging loose on the ground that's totally gonna do some canine shit. Go ahead
Canine
and
shit.
yep, give me
I hate
some
when that happens.
vigilance rolls here.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so all three of us rolled the exact same initiative roll.
Obviously, you all sampled some of that booze when you were in the warehouse building.
We're just that in sync together, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, apparently.
And immediately when the door shatters and goes in, the dog, totally runs for whoever's right in front of the door.
That's me.
Do you have any melee defense?
I sure do. One whole melee defense.
Hey, that's something.
Yeah.
As the wolf totally runs up and goes for the bite. And succeeds with just a bite.
Jim, would you like to guess how much damage that did to me?
And how much does 6 points of damage do?
Through my 6 soak, 0.
Damn.
There's a reason and that's why you open the door.
As it bites into your armor and you see its teeth impressions on your vambrace, and it's going to take 2 strain to continue its motion out of the death house that it is currently in. Oh, look, you can make it a good distance here.
So the dog even knows better.
Yep.
The dog bit you and run, and apparently we're not going to get any werewolf story for Halloween tonight because you don't want to get bit. Or are.
Yep.
And then these 2 jamooks are looking at the dog run and look at each other, and then they just go, "Ah!" and charge towards the door.
I feel like they could have just given up, but oh well. If they want to go to the halls of Valhalla, they'll go to the halls of Valhalla. Far be it from me to stop them.
Oh, apparently I need to add a blue because the accurate one did not come through.
It sure didn't.
1 baby bee. Let's see if 1 blue dice is the difference between victory or defeat.
I mean, it's not.
Only one threat is the guy totally comes up and goes, spears at you and misses because he didn't want to hit his dog.
Just right into the shield.
And he's going to totally take 2 strain to take a step back. So his buddy can come up and do the same. This is their tactic. They take turns.
I see a dog run out. I see a tip of a spear poke out. Another tip of a spear poke out.
Oh, Jesus.
And then the second guy swings his spear low because he's like, he yells at the other guy in French of, "Don't give a shit for the dumb dog. Take out his legs so he can't chase us." And he tried to like spear you in the legs. Miss.
Absolute style.
But you totally get tripped up and fall on your keister. For 3 of those advantages.
Oh, man.
Oh.
And you know what? He's going to totally take 2 strain to get the fuck out of the line of fire there. And
see, for talent, I looked at talents before doing this, and I got a tier 1 talent, and I looked at jump up, and I thought about it, and because the character learned his lesson from the very first battle of this game, where he was stuck fucking brawling a guy in fucking armor.
Yeah.
And he did not, because he took desperate recovery instead.
And you hear some screams and cries from inside the building further on, and you're just like on the ground, looking slightly embarrassed. So who's gonna go first? Is anybody gonna step over him? And
Yep.
Yeah. I got a question I kept forgetting to ask. Can we use talents from Star Wars if they're kind of applicable?
If they're applicable, yeah.
Yeah, because like true aim.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Do you have the Genesis Talents Expanded document?
5.1, I think, is the latest one.
Yeah, I didn't see it in there though.
They may have changed its name, but I could have swore there's something equivalent to it in there.
Oh, there might be.
Because I know some Terranoth archers, I think, had that. Because it is ridiculous for ranged attacks.
Similar.
So Hagen goes walking right over Bjork on the ground. Do you say anything to him as you step over him?
No, he's a compatriot. I won't embarrass him.
You're not going to embarrass him and get stabbed in the back.
I will step in though with my shield and that, and I will go ahead and I will sword the guy on the right.
The guy on the right? This guy? Okay, as he totally steps back and he does not want to die. And are you going
ready?
to spend some strain to aim?
Nah.
Okay, then in that case, I am ready.
I just casually walk up to between the two of them and then look over to the right and
Size up which one is the biggest one of the group. Ooh.
7, 8, 9.
And 9 plus, let's see, is not enough.
Okay.
As
I can't.
You
Chop
stab
them all
him
down
with the
in a
sword, and he kind of
couple.
like lifts his shield up partially, and the sword digs into the shield and cuts his shoulder that's holding the shield. And he gives out a cry. He says, "Heathens! God is on our side!" And to you guys, that sounds like absolute gibberish. I'm hoping
And
for
then
someone to speak
Frankian.
Frankian.
In my Frankian, I say, Odin spits on your god.
Ooh. As you say
I
their tongue, and they look back at each other and then at you.
Yes, I took Frankian and
In elementary school.
as a language, as an intelligence knowledge skill. So I have listened enough between my one raid and this raid to start to put together words. So,
And you just reply back, "I listened."
I listen. Yeah.
I'm assuming I take a strain there for the one.
Yep, it's going to be a strain for the one.
All right.
And I'm totally going to pass the black dice I forgot to give you to the next person. So who's going next?
The black dice you forgot to give him. He had 2 black dice.
Yeah, one for the shield and one for the spear.
Damn.
Go ahead, York.
All right.
Okay, spend your maneuver to get to your feet. Take 2
And then
strain for a second
strain to
maneuver.
move.
I love it. I'm
Yep.
spending resources. And you're going after the one that Hagen already wounded.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the guy who tripped you.
The guy who tripped me showed that he's kind of useful. Putting this guy out of his fucking miseries.
Damn.
Well, the kind.
Okay, so I take it you're going to attack him?
Yep.
Your dice pool is ready.
Oh!
And you come in with your axe and swing as he's like, "Oh crap, the one on the floor's back up!" And he lifts his shield up, and his shield's buckler hits that axe head perfectly square as you get the doing.
And I whip my axe around and I hook it under one of his legs and just upend him entirely.
And then you
Over
lay
the
him
table.
on his ass. Wow.
He's like, I can do this too.
And I'll take back 2 strain.
And again, I totally forgot to spend that black dice.
Oh,
still
for the
got
love
one
of God,
more.
guys.
Well, I'll go ahead and pass a blue die on to the next one of us to go.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say you still have a
Okay.
blue.
Yep. So, who's going next?
Well, I'm the only one left.
I
mean,
wonder
it's still optional.
who's going next.
I'll walk here and I'll kill the puppy.
You're gonna shoot the wolf?
Yep, true aim. Shoot the wolf.
So what do you need me to do to the dice pool? Don't give me
A
true
blue and an upgrade.
Okay, one upgrade. Okay, and he's at short distance. I got it in there for you. Oh, you bastard! You're shooting the dog.
I don't know if it's going to turn around and. So that'd be 11 damage.
Ooh, wow. For a minion, he's got great soaking wounds. 11 points of damage. You shoot him with the arrow, and he gives out a yow! As he takes some damage.
Even Bjorn would take damage from that hit.
Yep. I'd take a quarter of my wounds from that hit.
And
A quarter.
what would you like for that advantage there?
I'll just give a blue to the next guy to go.
Okay. So top of the order, the wolf just got. I mean, the dog that looks strangely very wolfish, just got shot with the arrow and decides,
Nope.
and is now running back to the person who just shot it with an arrow.
See, this is why I was shooting it, so it wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And
Never mind the fact that it made it do that.
And do you have any melee defense?
No.
I mean, it is a dog of war, and it's fight or flight has now been replaced with we're fighting.
That'd be a big fat no.
Okay. So the dog with its little spiked collars coming after your leg, and it gives that snarly Cujo sound as it rolls a wash, as it's chewing on your tunic instead of your actual flesh and blood.
These guys are not rolling the best tonight.
They're not.
No.
They would prefer that we talk about DC 20, I guess.
And that's a great place to wrap it up there. Thank you for joining us on Ragnarok and Roll, where the world of Midgard comes alive through the Genesys RPG. If you enjoyed today's tale, don't forget to rate and review and subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Want to become a part of the saga? Follow us on patreon.com/cppn and support us for exclusive content, early access, and behind-the-scenes stories for our various RPGs. Until next time, may the gods watch over your journey. May your blade stay sharp and your saga echo throughout eternity.